I feel like Puerto Rican in this hair. I feel Puerto Rican. Rican! What is up? Welcome to Cutting Up. I am your host Mac, and I want to thank you for checking out this content. And this is going to be a different review than those that I've done in the past. I've never reviewed anything like this, and I've never reviewed a product that I felt is starting from a place where I already don't think it's for me. I am going to try to be unbiased and objective because I think that dealing with hair loss is important, that you have all your options. Now, as you can see, when my hair started thinning, I simply went for rocking the baldy, and I am totally good with that. I don't anticipate this item that I'm going to review today changing that for me, but I think it's important to give you guys the options that you have so you can decide on hair remedies that will restore, regrow, slow down the hair loss process. Some of the time they promise more than they can actually deliver. You can go as far as hair restoration surgery. In some cases, it's cheaper for people to fly all the way to Turkey and get that surgical procedure done. And then you have options like this, which we're gonna check out today, which is a hair piece. This is from Lyrical Hair, and we're gonna see how this looks and really telling you what the quality is. Remember, no matter what I end up thinking about this at the end, if you are interested in checking this out for yourself, you can enjoy a $20 site-wide discount for any purchases that come up over $119. If you decide that this is an option that you want to explore, do what makes you comfortable. Do what makes you happy if the baldy is not for you. Before we check out the actual product, I do want to tell you a little bit about the company. Some of the information that was given to me about Lyrical Hair and why you'd want to choose them. They can get it to you in Amazon speeds. So they have 3-day free shipping in the US. There are over 5,000 pieces in hundreds of colors, most of the different sizes. So you'll get to understand that the hair pieces come in colors, which they have over 100 different colors, and just different hair textures, densities, lengths, and sizes, whether you're looking for jet black, brown, more of a redhead, if you want a salt and pepper. And I have to say I was impressed with that. To say they have over 5,000 pieces in 100 different colors and in most of the sizes is impressive. It means that no matter what your natural hair texture is, you can get as close to what you are trying to replace or match as possible. My own personal experience, it got to me very quickly. I actually got it during the Christmas break. It was a nice little touch to see that the packaging came out in some festive stuff. So here is the product itself. There isn't a whole lot of features. This isn't gonna be like my usual reviews where I can tell you like it does this or does that. It is exactly what it is. It's a hair piece. Consider the quality of the hair, the styling, how natural it looks when you put it on, how well and comfortable you feel going out in public. You wouldn't want to buy something that's like a $40 Halloween clown wig that you can feel the synthetic nature to. So the first thing is I tried to match from the descriptions and the pictures my natural hair texture and color. I ended up going with something like this. I'm gonna just place this on my head right now. And I'm gonna show you just the scalp and how it has like just a little bit of more natural thinning areas. You can see that very thinning area here. This actually is to give it a more natural appearance on the top of your head. It does try to have some natural look to it. You can see the hair quality and type as I'm looking at myself in this. Of course, without styling this right now in this mushroom, I wouldn't just plaster this on my head and walk around, you know. TikTok has rocked my brain. I gotta do it. So I feel like a Spanish. I feel like a Puerto Rican in this hair. I feel Puerto Rican. Rican! Okay, I got it out my system. What also comes in there are going to be the sticking pieces. These are help to place down the hair piece. On the inside of this, there is something for you to be able to stick this to your own scalp and secure the pieces there, and you can also style and comb the hair. I'm going to puff this out a little bit just to kind of spruce it up a little, but yeah, putting this on, I will say that's pretty much all you get with it. So if I had one critique, it is that it doesn't come with instructions, and this is definitely something that if you have no experience with, you're probably going to want to have some instructions to. They do have their own YouTube, which I will link below. They have some tutorials, and you can see a couple of videos on installation and styling of these pieces. So we're gonna try this out. There is not a whole lot of different features like most of the products that I usually try out, which are normally like gadgets and tech. This is pretty low tech. You just have the hair system, and then these fasten it if you're looking for something temporary. So you have the more permanent solution, which is to glue down the system if you're rocking a baldy like me, and then you can have the hair piece styled from there. You can use these strips, which is essentially like a skin tape that will temporarily place down the piece. Of course, I would never suggest trying to just wear the hair piece on your head, because the second you move your head to the right or left, gravity is going to expose the hair piece. One of the things that I have to say, I don't have a lot of experience with hair pieces, but first of all, I did go around the internet just looking at competitors, and their prices are very competitive for us here in the US market. I just want to really quickly show you how this is done. Looking at this with no experience, I would have thought that this is the back and this is the front, and it is actually the opposite. This part here is what you always hear them referring to as the lace front. So the part that already kind of looks like a cap is what goes to the back, and then this laced front piece is going to blend in with the skin, and when you're ready to trim the piece, this is what is going to be cut back. I have watched the tutorials on their YouTube. Some of the videos are a bit short or they're cut off, but they do a good enough job of showing you a thorough tutorial. There's a really good one that they recently put up of someone showing you how to make a mold out of just basically saran wrap for placing your first time hairpiece down. You can also, if you're going to a barber that specializes in enhancements like this, carry the piece after you've ordered it, and they will know what to do if you're planning on gluing this down. So I am going to take out one of these here. This is a strip of two-sided skin tape. So let's do the front. I will say it is very sticky, but fairly easy for you to work with. I know I kind of look like Toad from the Mushroom Kingdom, but you have to consider if you're going to wear a piece like this, you're not going to be shaving this totally bald anymore. The areas that you're still naturally growing your hair, the whole point of this is to make sure that this blends in with your natural hair. I don't know if placing it down first is the smartest thing, but like I said, I really am kind of feeling my way through this. And this is not meant to be a tutorial. By all means, check out their official YouTube. I just want to see how well the adhesive works. I'm going to place that here, it making contact with the adhesive, and we're going to see how well that sticks. Now, feeling the hair texture, I can say this isn't exactly my natural hair texture, and it is going to be a little difficult, I feel, with no experience to pick out your hair. So if you are gonna have this professionally installed, definitely get a second opinion. Don't do this by yourself. But even without this being my natural hair texture, it does appear to be natural. Yes, I don't think that the hairstyle itself looks all that natural, but you can see in comparison to like my beard, this does fit in very well. And if I didn't already have this shaved in here, you can imagine that this would look a lot better and a lot easier to style. I am gonna comb through the hair and see how well it combs, and I have to say it is pretty natural combing experience. One of the things that I've heard people, and my wife made sure to tell me to mention, is shedding. Shedding is something that you're gonna want to take into consideration. I felt that it did pass what I feel is the combing test. I didn't see a lot of hair coming out of it, but there is some shedding. I don't know how much is normal, and I feel like it is doing fairly well. Of course, you wouldn't want it to not be able to have any of the hair come out. It is stitched in, but the impressive part for me, again being a novice to this, is this thin ball cap that comes on it makes it that the hair not only is very breathable to your natural scalp, but also makes it look natural when looking at the top of the head. One of the things that I can say, I have wore in the past costume wigs, and those things get get itchy and they get hot, and you feel the synthetic fiber of that. It almost feels like you're wearing a very thin plastic. This is much more closer to just having natural hair. What they were explaining, again, check out their tutorial, is what you want to do is do about 3 to 4 fingers from the front is where you want to place the lace front part, and start from there, because you are going to end up trimming down this piece here, and you can style this how you want to style this. I'm going to try a little bit of hair product on a section of this just to see. We are going to use this kinky curly knot today that I have commandeered from the wife. It's very different than combing your own natural hair, because your own natural hair, you kind of feel the pull and the tug of it. Styling this on or off of the head, it is very difficult to kind of tell how well it feels, because I don't have any feeling to this hair. That you just have to get used to and get used to styling. This is the knot today, and you can see it is like natural hair. It did just absorb straight into the hair, and it doesn't hold it totally still. If my hair was like this, there would be some motion to my hair. I'm just impressed with the fact that it doesn't feel hot. I don't feel itchy. I don't feel like I need to scratch this thing. Like, I feel like I can get access to my scalp if I was to naturally get an itch. Now, things to consider. Once this is installed with maybe the glue or something more permanent, I can't critique when you wash, when you try to go swimming, when you try to do different things with that. You're going to have to do more research than this. So give me a minute here to think about this, because unlike usual, I have to take my own personal beliefs and biases out of this. So, final analysis, and it took a little bit of time to think about this before telling you whether or not I think this thing makes the cut. I would have liked to see some kind of instructions come, especially with the adhesives, just maybe some small illustrations showing where they are placed and kind of basically explaining what the front and the back was. What I will say is they do counter that with their YouTube that has tutorials of styling and actually installing your very first piece, even if they are cut off and a little bit short. Again, if you want access to that, check the links below. The quality of the hair, while this was not my hair texture, and I do think that there is going to be a little bit of difficulty shopping for your exact hair texture, because you'll never really truly see it until you get it in person, I will say that it still looked natural. If I didn't know that my hair texture was different to this, I still said that this looked to be natural, which there is absolutely no purpose to spending your money on a hairpiece like this if it's not going to look natural. This looks a lot better to me, in my opinion, than enhancements where they use paint or those pencil brushes to try to make the image of hair. Adhesive strips, for what it's worth, when I tried to use them, it did keep it in place for motion to be able to rock my head back and forth. I was able to jump and confidently feel like I wasn't going to turn my head and it was going to fly off. Obviously, it didn't look that natural because I do have the baldy shaved out, and you're gonna want to blend. So this is not gonna be something that you're gonna go from DMX to Snoop Dogg with the hairpiece. You're going to want to blend this in with your natural hair, with your natural color, density, and also something that fits with size and length. And then when I actually tried the hair product in it, even though there's that weird learning curve of actually styling something that isn't your own natural hair, the way that it absorbed this leave-in product and felt just like moisturized hair, and it didn't just sit on top of it, made me know that this is something that's going to look and feel and act like natural hair. With that said, even though it's not for me personally, if you find this to be a hair solution for you, I am going to say that it does make the cut, is worth a purchase, is worth you checking out for yourself. Caveat, if this is the hair solution for you, you have to go with what you're confident in. If you guys are exploring this or you have gotten pieces in the past, please comment below, let me know, be part of the community and resource to others that might be considering this. This is still something that I would probably consider before going to the drastic measures of flying to Turkey and doing a surgical procedure. That's not to knock people that do that either, but we all have to know where our line is. Interested in seeing what you guys think, and again, check out all the links below. Until the next time we're cutting up, stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next one. Reckon! Sitting here like an ass. They do have their own YouTube, which I will link below. What the f?